Finally, how is everyone doing? Finally. Oh, let me just show you. Yes. JOEL Pirou has signed for Leeds United. JOEL Pirou, the 24-year-old, signs for Leeds United on a deal up until 2027. I think it's around 10 to 12 million quid. Absolute bargain. Scores loads of goals in the championship. Let's get into the player profile right now. So here he is, as you know, JOEL Pirou, Leeds United. Let's get straight into it. So yeah, JOEL Pirou, he's 24 years old, played for Swansea. He's 1.85 meters, fairly tall guy, weighs 75 kilograms, plays striker, can play in behind, can play on the right, but he's a striker. He will play there for Leeds United. He's a striker. That's what he is. That's what he does. JOEL Pirou. From the Netherlands, his contract actually expired on the 24th next year, 2004, 24, geez, June the 30th. Valued at 10 to 15 million. Leeds got him for around 10 to 12, so it's absolute phenomenal. Coup for me, this is a real statement. Injury history is bleak. There's not much there. There's very little there. He doesn't miss much games of injury. Look at his career stats here: 91 Championship appearances, 10 Eredivisie appearances, 1 Europa League, 3 FA Cup, 2 EFL Cups, other cups in Holland and stuff like that. But let's get on to the good bits now. Technical overall stuff. So again, this is based on the system. This is based on the level of championship. So this isn't in world football. The stats here, these are based on at the level of the championship, how he performs. So for me as a striker, and these are just the basic principles, first touch and ball control are big in any form of striking for me personally. And he's decent at them. I put 7. Nothing outrageous, but a decent first touch. The way he can trap a ball, control a ball, turn with a ball really quickly. Quick feet to get out of a situation to then pull off a shot. Very impressive. Short passing is something that he excels in for me. Not necessarily groundbreaking passing, but very simple, but straight to the guys. No messing about, no mistakes. Decent passer. Finishing. Let's talk about his finishing. JOEL Piroue's finishing is at championship level outstanding. At any level. Is a finisher. When you watch this guy and the way he kicks a ball, 1v1s, in and around the box, his finishing is phenomenal. I give him a 10, and I don't give 10s at all. So a 10 out of 10 in finishing, because this guy's finishing is elite for this level, without a doubt. You can watch footage. We all know, 42, 3 goals in 2 seasons for Swansea. Brilliant. Outstanding. Dribbling, I put 6. Not terrible. Not his forte. Not the type of player he is. He may be able to do it once or twice. Might do it in a game to get out of a situation. But it's not not his style of play. Progressive passes, again, final third. Finding that little pass out to the winger or breaking the lines a little bit. He's not too bad at it. Decent at that. Shot creating actions, I give a 9. Again, looking at not necessarily the way he uses his body, the way he uses his movement to create shots and create actions in games. I put a 9. I think he's very good in this aspect. Gets a lot of shots off. Creates areas around the box to get shots off. Creativity 7. Again, a lot of it will come through movement and his finishing, not necessarily his ball skill or his cutting edge passing. Shooting a 9. This guy can hit a ball. He's phenomenal at it. Goal threat 9. Scores goals. Of course, he's a goal threat. Let's be honest. I give him an A for technical. Technical stats, A. Easy A for this level. Psychological, for me, it's important. Very important part of the game. As you can see, a little bit of mix, but nothing bad. Using his body, so again, as a striker in this system as well, in certain positions, using your body or using the position of you on the pitch to manipulate defenders and manipulate the ball where you want to be, being on the blind side. I think he's very good at this. He's a very smart player. So I give him a high score for that. Acceleration, not the quickest, not the slowest. Fairly, he can move a little bit. So I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Physicality, physical guy. Not necessarily in terms of the way he plays. He's not a big lump that likes to just barge people out of the way. But he's a big guy. He is physical. He can use his body well. Press, this is one little thing I'm worried about. Again, we'll have to slightly adapt the way we play for me. And this is based on the press. So this guy is not the best presser in terms of what he's done so far in his career. Not that he can't do it, he's just not the most mobile in terms of pressing, not like a Timo Pukki, that type of player, but more of he will pressurise a certain area of a pitch. But that is something he'll have to adapt. Either we'll have to adapt as a team, or Daniel Farke will have to find a way to put him in that situation where we adapt around him. So 6 for that. Movement, This is off the ball. So again, being in the right place at the right time, finding pockets of areas, being unselfish at times, making runs that can stretch a team, give more depth, more height. Very good. Very good. 9. I give a solid score. Fitness, 8. This guy plays all the time. His injury record's brilliant. He could probably do 90 minutes. So that's a B score. So we're A, an A, and a B so far. Very solid. Psychological. That was physical. Psychological next. Mentality in difficult moments. These are very similar to the Rodon one because they're all similar to a football, a slight adapting in some of them. Mentality in difficult moments. Now, he's a type of player for me who hasn't necessarily really struggled to have those moments. Swansea were always a side who were never really challenging as much for top 2. So I give him a 7. I couldn't give him higher. Now he's at Leeds. That will be tested in these difficult moments in the season, where the expectation is to win the league or to be top 2. But that'll be definitely tested. Persistence, continuing going. For 2 years, he's constantly been scoring for Swansea in a side that's not achieving a great amount, apart from decent football and doing okay in the league. But that's persistence. That constant going of scoring goals every week is persistence. So an 8 in that. Confidence, a very confident guy. We don't have to get into that. Very confident guy. You can tell by his thing, tell by the way he plays, the way he holds himself. Very confident. Calmness, again, I think he's calm. That will be tested this year. Scores a lot of goals, big moments for players, big moments for Swansea. In them vital moments, he comes into the game and scores goals for you. Reading the game technically. Now, this is a little thing I want to talk about. The debate on whether he fits the system is debatable. I think the system we play now is different to the system we play at Norwich. I think we have better players. We can maintain the ball better. We're more of a side who dominates the ball, whereas at Norwich they would try to dominate the ball, but they're a side that didn't necessarily have a better block. We have a better block for me. I think defensively we're less able to be countered on. Build-up play might be a little slower, but for me the system is something he's going to have to slightly adapt to in areas, without being crazy or unbelievable. There is areas in the game in which JOEL Piroe will have to adapt to. And that's obvious, that's an obvious thing in this system. You're going to have to adapt to him or he'll have to adapt to us. Daniel Farke will find that way, and reading the game tactically will improve for this system. Speed of thinking, this is knowing the picture around you, knowing what the next move is, understanding the assignment, understanding what your role on the pitch is in certain moments in games. He's very good at this, I think, fitting into that Swansea system. High possession ball, a lot of movement, a lot of requirements as a player. I think he passed those and ticked those boxes, so that's a good one for me. And concentration, again, this comes down to the amount of goals he scored, the amount of consistency in goal scoring he's had in the last 2 years. A player that really is really good mentally. Very strong mental stats here for JOEL Piroe, which is what we need in Leeds United, where the pressure will be on this season. Before we get onto key strengths real quick, let's just look at this. Look at his goal scoring last season in the Championship. 43 games, 19 goals. That's more or less one every other game in the Championship last season. 2 assists as well. As you can see here, look, constantly getting goals in a constant string throughout the season. No real game where he went more than 3 or 4 games without a goal. Brilliant stats from last season in an average Swansea side. We look at the year before as well. Yeah, as we can see there, 45 games, 22 goals, 6 assists. Phenomenal year the year before. And look at these stats. Look at this team here. Solid Championship goal scorer. Will be a solid player. Solid Championship goal scorer and will be a solid player for Leeds United. There's some overall summary on my personal opinion on what I've put down, what I've expected. That's my debrief on him, I guess. So people feel free to pause this and read that if you want. Key strengths and improvements. And I was rushing with this one, so ignore any spelling mistakes. Allow it, all right? I'll fix it for the next video, okay? Now, key strengths. I put shooting, finishing, positional play, progressive passes, short passes, consistency. Shooting, I've just shown you the stats. I've just shown you the goals. A lot of his goals are in and around the edge of the box, in the box, around the D with bodies in front. His finishing, his shooting is outstanding for this level, this league. Positional play, to score those goals, you have to be in the right position. You have to work for the system. I think his positional play is phenomenal. The way in which he finds himself in these areas where he can produce shots and produce goals is something that we really need, and crying out for Leeds United. And we have that now with him. Progressive passes. These are not so progressive in the sense that it's a cutting edge pass, but passes that allow the player to constantly keep flowing in tough moments, in tight areas or wide areas. His passing is solid, it's straight, it's to the man. No messing about, no terrible passes, just straight, solid passing, which is what we need. And consistency. The guy's done it for 2 seasons without threat, constantly scoring every other game. It's an outstanding record, and it's a real good coup for Leeds United. Even though personally I don't believe he fits the system perfectly, we will adapt the system around him. We will make him fit by the way we play. And actually, a lot of the time we have the ball high up in their areas. This is where we need him to pick areas in the box or just outside of it where he can release a shot or get in over a cross. So we will adapt to him. We have to. That's why we bought him. That's why Farkas put his faith in him. So I'm looking forward to this. Improvements, system fit. I've just spoke about that. Yeah, that's pretty. Work rate and press. I'm not too sure about those yet. Again, adapting it so he's probably not the hardest worker. The wingers might do a bit more, might play a little higher. He might just have to do a little bit more pressing. That is a thing. We need to do a little bit of pressing in this side. He might do that. That's good. Pace. It's not, like I said, it's not slow, but he's not the quickest striker. In a real quick counter-attack where we've got the really quick wingers, he's going to have to do his best to positionally be in an area where he can keep up with his guys and be an option in a counter, because in a counter he's going to be vital at the end of the day. He's our finisher. Similar players, ignore the Pablo bit. I forgot to get rid of that. That's from another player. That shouldn't be there. Olivier Giroud, and this is movement and finishing in and around that area. Can use his head, can volley one in the top corner. Movement, Giroud was very smart. Not the quickest, but used his body and the way he moved around the box. Just kind of drifted around, like the way Pirot does that. Finds areas of, to concern the opponents. They can't really mark you. You're always moving, always drifting around in a position to penetrate and destroy the defenders. So that's a similarity kind of thing. Again, ignore the Pablo bit. So technical, A. Physical, B. Psychological, B. Overall, a B+ signing. In terms of what we need, in terms of the system, in terms of his stats, a B+ for me is phenomenal. What we need now, and we need to keep progressing with this player. But as an overall player, I'm very, very happy with JOEL Pirot. And there's a lot of stuff going around saying, I don't think it fits system. That, of course, but that's for me down to, again, the value play for the player and what you think you can get out of the player. Daniel Farke, I trust the man. He wanted this guy. The fee is good. Make it work. And I think he can get 20, 25 goals for Leeds United if he's playing every game, and if you make it work in the system and put bodies around him to allow him to score. So yeah, that is this one. I'll be honest, this one was really rushed because it came out of nowhere. Any more signings, I'll take longer with the videos. There'll be a bit more in there. This was really rushed given what happened today. So let me know what you guys think. I appreciate all support as usual, and